Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Hello and happy Sunday. It has been a minute since I've been able to do a Sunday live stream, but if there was ever any Sunday to do it, it would be today, because we are seeing some very nice price action in Bitcoin, in SPS, and the rest of the market. And guess what? TradFi is sleeping. TradFi is off for the weekend. So this is actually pretty exciting stuff. I can't wait to see what the markets are going to look like when things open tomorrow. And hopefully, I'm not jinxing it, but you know, the rumors out there right now. And again, they're rumors. I have nothing to back this up. I'm not even the one saying it. I'm just, you know, there's a lot of other Bitcoin maxis calling for it, that it seems as though there probably could be countries or a country that is starting to buy up Bitcoin. And for those of you who don't follow crypto generally, you know, hold on. For those of you that don't follow crypto generally, or maybe you weren't following the election or whatever it is, we knew that, you know, that we've been talking about this game theory, nation state game theory, for a long time. And the fact that Trump won, and people know that the U.S. administration, future U.S. administration, is going to be very crypto and Bitcoin friendly. You've already started to see sentiment, like literal like press conferences, things like this. I've been watching interviews with people from, you know, Asia, Europe, that are talking about, hey, if the US is about to get bullish on Bitcoin, we should probably be paying attention. And you know, there's a bunch of countries out there already that are either mining Bitcoin or starting to hoard Bitcoin, and they're small countries. Just imagine what this is going to look like in 2025 if you know, everybody starts to stack some sats. So, you know, I'm still not a believer in the super cycle theory, in the sense where it's just like we go up forever from here. I do think that there's going to be a crash. I don't think like everybody's going to get into it now, but I do think that, you know, this cycle could be a lot bigger than the last one. I think, you know, conspiracy theory hat on, my little tinfoil hat on, the last one was nipped in the bud a little bit if you think about it, but now you got all the power players that are in place. BlackRock, Fidelity, they got their ETFs. You got the US government that's like kind of giving the green light. I don't know, China's about to unban Bitcoin as well. So it's exciting stuff. Lots of really cool things going on a Sunday of all days. But I was watching the price last night and it was fantastic. And I woke up this morning. I know we're not over 80K right now, but we did cross 80K. So that is like the new all-time high or whatever it is. In fact, I don't know what exactly. Let me check. Because the two places that I have alerts are Robinhood and Coinbase, which obviously are different markets, but should be roughly the same. Now, Robinhood says 80,078 is the 52-week high. And Coinbase, I like Coinbase better just because it shows when that timing was. Here we go. Oh, Prime just pumped. So Coinbase is saying 80,137. So Prime just jumped up to 850. Wow. This is crazy. Look at this. Hold up. Like, it's been ranging in the $7 range since yesterday. In fact, it even went down to like the $6 range for a minute 24 hours ago. And now we're at 850. All right. This is it. I mean, even ETH is pumping now too. So I think I'd mentioned his name here a while back, Benjamin Cohen. He's like just one of the kind of like crypto influencers I would follow. Again, I don't follow too many. Just because nobody knows what the hell's going on. But he's been directionally right on a lot of things for the past, I don't know, year or so. So, and he's good about the fact where he, you know, he calls himself out when he's wrong. And most importantly, he's just giving scenarios. So, you know, it's fascinating. But let's go ahead and dive into the chat here, because I know there's already a good group. Man, Sundays are fun. I guess I missed Sundays here with you guys. Look at this. We already have a solid group. But we got Bananas in the house. Let's freaking go Bitcoin. Matthew Young is here. The pump is real. Burning Elk in the house. What's up? We love to see these large green candles. You know what's funny is like Bitcoin, it's not even like a large green candle. It's just like marching up, man. It's slowly and steadily. This entire week, it's like since the election, what, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like 5 days. And it's like we've gone up $1,000 each day. And you know what? Over the next year, between now and November of next year, if we go up $1,000 every day, that's going to put us at 450, which would be fantastic. I would love it. So I'm here for the small but steady candles all the way to the top. Burning Alex says it feels good that SPS is also showing signs of life. Yeah, so this is obviously I shouldn't say obviously. I'm my analysis is that it's all just speculation and market hype, right? So you're starting to see that go into SPS, which is great. We're correlating with the market. We're correlating with alts, which is good for the time being because, well, it's good because traditionally we haven't, right? When the market was pumping back in Q1 of this year, we were still going down. So my analysis of this is that we are now in a position where we've got rid of the excess selling and extraction that was happening primarily due to the bots, right? The bot farms, which we got rid of in June with the wild pass, right? So people just aren't selling every day massive quantities of SPS, which means we can much more closely correlate with the market. And then, and here's the good part, we can not just correlate with the markets, but we can uncorrelate whenever there are massive shifts in the game economy, meaning land comes out, Conclave Arcana, like a bunch of other things that could help to push the flywheel action and actually get us a little bit more volatility, hopefully to the upside for SPS versus something like Bitcoin, right? But we'll have to see how things play out over the next 4 to 6-ish months. All right, let's see what else we got. Mystic Force is in the house. What's up? Blockchain projects. I wonder who set SPS to 1 cent by the end of November. You know, I'm on record, especially in one of my bearish kind of sentiment videos and live streams. I'm on record saying that I didn't think we would get to 1 cent before the end of the year. And that was probably me just being a little pouty about the fact that, like, the team said Lane isn't coming this year, and then Glamour's not coming this year, and whatever. But we're riding the market wave, which is good. I was hoping we would, but I didn't want to like bank on it, you know, just because we hadn't traditionally seen it this strongly correlated in the past. But I will take it. I will take it if we get there by the end of November. Aaron Kennedy says $10 SPS. Let's go. $10 SPS, man. If there's a $10 SPS, I'll be live streaming the rest of these from the Philippines. Where are my Filipino viewers at? All the Filipino players, you guys on? I know it's like, I guess it's like late Sunday night, so maybe not the best time. Make SPS great again. Indeed. Make SPS $10. Or sorry, make SPS $1 again. DJ's here. People's Guild is here. Oh, we got a fantastic crowd. What's going on? Suarez, what's going on? Banana says, I hope he actually gets rid of income tax. I don't think he will, but he talked about it. Man, that would be phenomenal. I really, really hope that he does as well. I'm not politically savvy enough to know how that would need to happen logistically and what kind of support he would need from Congress and all of it. But if he can do that, that would be fantastic. Because, you know, there's a lot of criticism around like tariffs and like, you know, those raising prices and things like that. And it's just like, okay, well, you have to look at his full economic plan, right? If you look at tariffs in a vacuum, yes, they're designed to increase the prices of goods that are coming from outside, but there's a lot of second and third order effects that come in with that, right? It encourages production here in the US. It can create jobs here in the US. It's better for the economy overall. Again, we don't feel that immediately, but it is something that could hopefully be an economic starter for us. On the flip side, if you're going to have those prices raised, when you look at the full policy, and I'm dumbing it down and simplifying it for just two avenues here, right? But if you're going to increase prices on, you know, certain goods coming in from outside, what if you're also giving back people a significant portion of their, you know, income? What is it? I think the lowest tax bracket is like 12%, right? So imagine getting 12 to 25 to 30 something percent of your income back from the federal government. And you know, the best part about this is that you don't have a choice to pay your income tax. I mean, you do, but you know, if you don't, then you go to prison or you suffer whatever consequences. When it comes to where that money is allocated, if you're going to allocate it, for example, to income tax, well, you don't have a choice, right? You just got to pay it and you just got to deal with it. If you're going to have to pay it for rising costs due to tariffs, you can choose whether or not you want to spend on certain items, right? That decision comes back to you. You have a little bit more autonomy over it. And I know I'm simplifying things very much, but I really do hope that he gets rid of the income tax and, you know, puts everybody in a better economic position. That'd be fantastic. Especially because, and I know we're getting into the meme aspects of it here, especially because, like, what's the government done for the last, I don't know, 20 plus years? They've just printed the money anyway. It's not like the taxes that they're collecting are enough for all the money that they're spending. So I don't know. Ease up on the population. That's my uneducated, uninformed, and whatever opinion on it. Banana says, yeah, it's fun to watch, but I'm not selling Bitcoin either way. Oh no, we don't sell Bitcoin. We sell the other ones. SPS to 1 cent before December. DJ probably called that out. Lackey Lukey, I have not seen you here in a long time, but hey, an $80,000 Bitcoin will get people out of hibernation. So welcome to Bitcoin Spring. I believe we are right around the corner from Bitcoin Summer, and I cannot wait. Welcome back. All right, Gathering the Magic says, remember to lick your ice cream and take some profits. Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to start having that conversation soon. I was thinking to myself that we would be going, that I wouldn't be taking any ice cream money until the 1st of January. But, I mean, if we start pumping up before then, I may have to change things around. We shall see. All right, so the Chuny says, good to see the Chuny back here too. Dow should have bought some BTC by now, but it's not too late. Yeah, the Chuny, I'll say this. I mean, what would you sell at this point to buy Bitcoin? Don't get me wrong. I want the Dow to hold Bitcoin, but at this point, it's not even that it's like too late or it's too early or whatever the fact is. I think I said this a while back when I responded to your comment, which was fantastic. I think, or like the Dow being backed or SPS being backed by Bitcoin, I think that we should just be buying slowly and steadily over time. We should just be dollar cost averaging no matter what. At this point, if we're planning to sell DEC and SPS, I think that there will be certain points at which those will be higher, hopefully, right? Knock on wood. There you go. Or drywall, whatever that is. All right, so SPS at a penny, or there's bananas. SPS at a penny is still sad overall, but it's a good start and certainly a milestone. Yeah, Matt. Well, look, we had to bottom out somewhere, and if we can get back up to a penny, that'll be great. Burning out. Someone could pump SPS to 1 cent if they wanted to buy 250,000. Wait, it's just 250,000 SPS? That's it? That seems a little low. I feel like somebody could do that easily. Vilson, what's up? Good to see you here, brother. Our DJ says we need more positive Papa Bowl after sound for the remainder of 2024. I mean, you keep showing me new Bitcoin all-time highs. I will be your bull daddy. All right. If we keep getting Bitcoin all-time highs it's been a great weekend. It's been not a great weekend. It's been a great week because it's like every day we're just pushing it just a little bit. So it's not like we get this massive up and then everybody just sits there anxiously waiting like, okay, wait, do we correct now or do we continue this ride, right? It's not a roller coaster. We're taking the escalator up, which is interesting, right? It's like slow, steady, methodical, which again, I like because it's just better. Or it has been better. The Chuny says they should figure out a way to back SPS and DEC with Bitcoin, not DEC. And also, how about a Bitcoin promo? We need to get some attention on this platform and leverage BTC to do that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what attention you're going to get from like Bitcoin maximalists. I think that's going to be tough. I mean, sure, if you go with the whole like Terra Luna type of thing, but we're too small. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still want to do it. I think that the Dow should be backing SPS with Bitcoin. I also think that the Dow should be trying to stack as much Bitcoin as possible. If you think about it, right? Look at how much. Look at the kind of press that MicroStrategy has. I mean, we are a company. We are a business as well. We're decentralized. Decentralized autonomous organization. So we could be finding ways to play with things and get as much Bitcoin as possible. Now, that being said, is that within like the goal of the DAO or the game? No, we want to create a cool game here. We want to create a cool ecosystem. So I think that we should be slowly and steadily stacking. I forgot what suggestions I gave in that video, but it's like take a portion of whatever and just continuously buy. Vlogging says, I didn't expect SPS to 1 cent this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if it gets rejected from 1 cent. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure I'm surprised that we're actually doing as good as we are right now, primarily because I would have expected people who bought in at like the 41 cent range or 0.41 or 0.5, like you're about to 2x your money, which means that you could essentially, or you have 2x your money, or you're about to 2x your money. So you could potentially take out all of your capital and then just ride a moon bag at that point, right? You're playing with house money. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my thought. All right. People's Guild says, stop taxing expats overseas, please. I know that's not a great thing, man. Uncle Sam's a cork soaker. Yeah, I know. Our policies are not like, we have the worst policies when it comes to expats. Burning Elk says, tariffs are not a great idea. Costs get passed on the consumer, which causes inflation. Typically, the industry protected by tariffs takes a long time to react and grow. Yeah, again, not gonna disagree with any of that. If they get implemented, it has to be done in a very thought out, smart way. Otherwise, yeah, you will disrupt a lot. People's Guild says, Chuny, I'd love to see that proposal. All right, Swala says, buying $200 of DEC, going card shopping this morning. Okay. You know, I haven't even checked, like, how are Splinterlands assets doing? We have a situation. Oh, estimated value. Somebody bought up some Rebellion cards because that estimated value shot up. What else we got going on? Damn, Colony's still in the tank. GLX still in the tank. High of over 20 cents. Hey, that's nice. Not gonna complain about that. Sage Powell says, I'm waiting until Bitcoin hits 2K again, waiting for another big crash. Nice. All right, so Gathering says, to get rid of income taxes, you have to get rid of the Fed, have asset-backed currency that can't just be printed, and impose tariffs. US did that pre-1900, and there was no inflation from 1780 to 1900. Yeah, I know the Fed was created in the early 1900s. I forgot the exact date. But you know who is getting a lot more attention now? I don't know if you guys are on X, but there were some tweets going back and forth between Elon Musk and Ron Paul, and Ron Paul is, you know, famous for wanting to end the Fed. So that could be, I don't know, that could be interesting. We're in for some really interesting times, just economically, right? I know people are upset about one thing or another, and I don't even want to get into that. But like from an economic standpoint, this could be a very, like, the country could look very different. The world could look very different in a couple of years if things are done well and done in the right way. But a lot of disruptive types of changes are being discussed. All right, State of Survival says, country won't be dumb enough to get rid of income tax. It'll be more like anything under 20K annual income is not taxed. That's it. We'll see. I mean, again, he floats stuff around, and I'm sure a lot of it is just like, I heard somebody say, you know, he's a businessman, so all of his stuff is just a negotiating tactic, right? He goes like super far so that he can find some compromise in the middle, which, okay, like cool. Like if it's like everything under a certain amount is not taxed, and then they change the tax code for anything above that, that's cool. But you know, the other good part too, right, is if you get rid of the income tax, well, you no longer need the IRS. You don't need this sprawling agency and to pay a bunch of people, and like, you know, again, it just frees up people, frees up capital, frees up costs for the US government. Like, I don't know. That's, maybe it is a pipe dream, but still. DJ says, what if we sold HBD rewards only every week for BTC? You know, that's another great thing that I would be down for. I know I have a lot of videos, but I know that I have a video that was talking about using the HBD rewards, right? So I think we get, I don't know, whatever it is. If we have like 100,000, it's 15%, right? So over the course of a year, we get 15,000 HBD paid out monthly. We should be, first thought was we should be buying SPS with that, right? Slow and steady gains. There's slow and steady buy pressure on SPS every day, every week, every month, so that we're constantly able to fund rewards in the future. Like we're symbiotic with the Hive blockchain, right? meaning that we're there, so we're leveraging some of their facilities, meaning that we're holding a good amount of HBD, but then taking those rewards and using those to help create more opportunity and longevity for the DAO and for the rewards coming from the DAO. But if we were to change that and hold BTC, I mean, that's cool too. Again, however we get it, that's fine. But keep in mind, like, what does the DAO want to be, right? What does the DAO want to be? As much as I love Bitcoin, there's so many other vehicles and avenues that allow me to either hold Bitcoin directly or to, hold something like MicroStrategy. Again, not financial advice on any of this, but hold something like MicroStrategy, which, I mean, they were a software development company. Now they've switched to a Bitcoin development company, but really, what are they? They are a Bitcoin holding company, right? They make the revenue that they make from their businesses at this point now, even just 4 years into their Bitcoin strategy, is minuscule compared to the returns that they've made, like in the billions of dollars on their Bitcoin strategy, where it's just like leverage every financial instrument available and buy as much Bitcoin as possible and wait. And so that's cool. But, this is not a knock on MicroStrategy, because I think they are going to build some cool things in the future. But what value are they providing to the rest of the ecosystem when it comes to Bitcoin? Now, here's the thing. With Bitcoin, you don't need anything else, right? It is decentralized. It is a store of value. It is the best, hardest form of money out there. But SPS is not making that claim. SPS is not trying to do that. SPS is trying to build a sprawling gaming ecosystem. So yes, we should be acquiring some Bitcoin as part of our strategy and to hold it as like a corporate treasury and reserve. But that shouldn't be everything. We shouldn't be trying to get as much Bitcoin as possible, because that's not the mission of what this is, right? We don't SPS's value. Sure, we could just buy as much Bitcoin as we wanted to, but what's the value of SPS then if all you're doing is getting the underlying value of Bitcoin to increase? Okay, cool. So SPS goes up, but then why would people hold SPS when it's like giving it an indirect utility, which I don't like. As you've heard me say, I want direct utility. So the focus for the SPS token should still be on creating value in any and all ways through through the game ecosystem, right? Which is why I'm fundamentally against taking the rewards away from Soulkeep. And yes, I know they've been a bad boy, right? They haven't listened, but it's too early. It's too early in the mix. And when you hear them talk, when you see them, it's just they're not being I don't look at them and it's just oh, they're being malicious about this. They're struggling with the same thing that the Splinterlands team is struggling with. They lack of resources, lack of whatever. The game is not profitable for them, so it's not high priority. Now, again, some people, that might upset some people, but it's that's just the nature of the reality. It's not like they don't want the game to succeed. In fact, they're putting time and energy into it. And I just felt like we were being a little too harsh. You got their attention, now rescind it, right? You got their attention, you got David on, they're going to take immediate action, but now we rescind it, knowing that we can play this card at any point in the future, right? If things get that bad, we can always play this card, but don't take it to, don't finalize it. I don't know. The game's been out for less than a year. And to that point, it hasn't been Double Coconut's fault. Okay, so let's just be very clear about this. The game being released as late as it was not Double Coconut's fault. It had everything, or probably significant majority of things, to do with the fact that Splinterlands as a company last year was struggling and was, as David said recently, was prioritizing things differently, which we knew, right? Land 1.5 was supposed to come out in June, and then they said, nothing's going to come out until Land 1.5 is out. So either way, I think we're being overly harsh. There's obviously a lot of folks that feel burned by this project and call it a rug pull and whatever the case is. And then you have a lot of people that, like I said, the dynamic is similar to the Hive proposal, where they don't even play the game, but they're just looking at that and saying, oh yeah, I don't know much about this, but I'm just going to assume that it's not going to provide value, or maybe it's not providing value now. And I'm assuming it's not going to provide value in the future. I mean, how many people watched the downhaul? How many people, really got into the nitty gritty of it? Probably not many. So I don't know. That's my thought. Dumb to get rid of income tax. I don't know. Oh, you're talking to State of Survival. Yes. Explain, please. All right, so Burning Off says income tax is like the largest source of tax revenue for the country. It would be catastrophic for the national deficit and debt. Well, you know they're going to print the money anyway. All right, if it was removed and did not have a revenue replacement, that money is needed for other services. You get rid of income tax, half the government would be unemployed. You literally accomplished nothing. Well, so the argument here is that, and again, I'm not an expert in this. I'm assuming you're not an expert. So we're just talking in good faith here of trying to like share ideas, right? I don't know that mine are right. I'm just kind of, I'm even parroting some of the talking points that I've heard. So, the idea behind this, and actually, I think I remember where I heard it with, it's probably like Elon Musk on Rogan's show, where he was talking about the fact that you have a lot of people who work for government, right? AKA like the IRS or whatever these agencies that are acting as regulators. Therefore, they're not providing value for the economy, right? They're just regulators. If you free those people up, and yes, I know you free those people up by removing the jobs, abolishing whatever agencies that are no longer necessary. And I'm not saying to do that with thoughtlessness, right? Or carelessness. But if you can reduce that, well, then you free up all of these people to go work at companies or start their own companies or work in areas where they start providing value. They start creating value in the economy rather than regulating it. So all of a sudden, like the workforce that is creating things, goods, services, exports, whatever it is, they are now like, that is now increasing. So again, I think there's a lot of validity to that argument. I admit that there's probably a lot of moving pieces that could, shift it one way or another. But, somebody who studied economics, I was able to rationally follow that, and it made a lot of sense. I mean, I'm one of the people that also thinks like, there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of administrative bloat. And you see that not just in the government, but in a lot of like companies too, right? Elon showed that with X. Got rid of 80% of the workforce, and the app is probably doing better now than it was back then. So there's gonna be a thing, there's gonna be a movement to cut the fat, and sure, it might be a one step back type of deal, but hopefully those one step back leads to two steps forward. Banana said, I would never dare talk about Splinterlands where BT Maxis hang out like Nostr. Yeah, I didn't talk about Splinterlands directly, but I started a thread in Nostr recently, just kind of saying like, I'm fascinated by crypto games, and I'm wondering how like Bitcoin can get into the space. People weren't negative about it. In fact, they pointed me to a couple of like projects that were going on, but when I did my research, I'm like, oh, okay, like it's not quite there yet. For some reason, it feels like Lightning adoption has not kind of reached that area. Because I remember there was a game called Light Night a while back, which was like a Fortnite kind of third-person shooter, and it was very basic. Somebody had created it, and it's like, okay, like that could be cool if you can find a way to like use Lightning, but I don't know. Wouldn't it be crazy if MicroStrategy pivoted to being like a Bitcoin gaming company? Wilson says SPS to $1 in the next hour. Okay, Gathering says, this is why you need tariffs. Tariffs replace all income needs to fund the government, but then again, the government was much smaller and needs to be again. Yeah, so I mean, I know I'm probably behind on this chat. What is this? I'm like 13 minutes behind. So I think I talked about that earlier, where it's just like you have to look at the full economic plan. Income will come, or the government revenue will come from other areas, such as potentially tariffs. Banana says, I think a lot more than half the government should be unemployed. Well, see, okay, I know you're trolling a little bit, and that's fine. To say it in a nicer way, I think that there are areas in which more, like you said, half the government, those people can be doing other things that add value to the economy, building things, creating services, creating jobs, creating companies. And again, I haven't heard a good counter argument to that. Maybe there is. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just saying I have not heard a good counter argument, and I'm open to hearing one. Status File says, tariffs equals protectionism. That's not healthy for anything international. If you want to crawl back and build your own iron wall, tariffs would make sense. You end up muting innovation. Okay, so I can understand and maybe even agree to the first part here, but I don't know that I agree with the second part. You end up muting innovation. Why would innovation be muted if we are focused on increasing our exports and decreasing our imports? Gathering says you also need to bring back the Glass-Steagall Act to break up monopolies that are stifling innovation and competition. I don't know enough about that, but I will try to do some research. Thanks for sharing. Burning Elk says, I agree with that gathering. We've let corporations get too big. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, oh, Brandon's here too. It's the big Brandon. Congratulations on getting your Heloise. I believe you got number 2, right? Hope it pays itself back with some leaderboard rewards. Brandon says it's the big ask. Shoot for the stars. Hit the moon. Not bad. Again, like all the stuff that he's going for, just like literally every president that's ever campaigned has always like put out, whatever kind of policies. Did they go in and bat 100? No, they didn't. But, there's some interesting radical ideas here, which, again, I think could be great for the economy. Monster Inc. says, I'm contemplating buying some Rebellion packs, sub 1 million left, the near 1 million of the Dow, and nobody knowing what to do is probably the reason why sales not going up. They will have to readdress that with AC. I think you mean CA, Conclave, Arcana, California, Carne Asada, Cornflake Asada. I've seen so many names. I would say people aren't buying because there's too many promos and stuff going on right now. So like, the auction promo and Hall of Legends. And number 2, now that we have a release date in mind for Conclave Arcana, the question becomes, okay, do you go heavy on that one and just kind of future-proof your deck for the next 3 years of Modern format, whereas you've already missed out on this, right? Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. And I knew what I was signing up for when I didn't buy any packs or cards throughout, but it's like I could have gone heavy and gotten a decent amount of airdrops and whatever, but now I'm playing catch up. And part of it is like, okay, well, what if instead of going heavy on Rebellion, I go heavy on Conclave Arcana? And I use this time, instead of buying crazy expensive promos, just to buy up a couple of cards here and there that I think could be valuable, right? Summoners, XYZ. That is my guess. That is my guess as to what some people might be doing. Burning Elk says Glass-Steagall is the best thing to come out of the Great Depression. Oh, I need to do some research now. I don't know about you guys, but the older I get, like I love learning history. I hated it in school. I hated it so bad. It was so boring. But now, like, I can literally just go down the rabbit hole, the Wikipedia or ChatGPT rabbit hole of like, oh, what was this? And like, what impact did it have? And like, why don't we talk about that? Why didn't I learn that in school? Right? Like, there's a lot of interesting things here. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes, as they say. So Gathering says, I think Trump will go after companies that are monopolies. This will help small businesses compete. We will see how the next few years go. Yeah. Well, you just want to give everybody a fair shot. And here's another like uneducated take, right? I'm always trying to disclaim these because I hear and I read stuff and I don't know if I'm only looking at the picture from one side. But like, I used to think patents were really good. And then I realized like, oh, patents are just a way to like, yes, it's protecting intellectual property, which I get, and that's important even for someone like me in music, right? IP is everything. But what it does is it essentially like removes all competition. If you have a patent on something, nobody else can create it. Nobody else can like take your idea, do it better than you, reduce costs, and actually have a form of deflation with, innovation. So I don't, that changed my mind on patents. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just, I used to think that, oh, patents are just, I didn't even think about it before. I just like patents were just a thing. And now all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, kind of reduces free market competition. Now, again, I don't know all the nuances, but I'm just kind of regurgitating some of the talking points that I've heard with you guys, so that hopefully, if you're smarter than me, you can either agree with it or refute it. State of also, this Hall Legends, is it meant to be continuous churn of 2 special cards every few weeks, or just a few sets and then stop? It is 2 cards every 4 weeks. So we are currently in phase 3. There's going to be 2 more phases, one in December and then the final one in January. Chaos packs getting close to hitting 40 cents again. Only a few bots selling packs under 40 cents. Okay. There's a lot of packs out there, man. I wouldn't get too excited about it. BRB, 5 sets for now. Sis Bananas. All right. Sage says, man, that's going to cost me pretty any. What? Oh, my cat was acting super weird, like right behind the camera, and I didn't realize he was playing with a he's got this little fish toy that he's playing with. It looked like he was spazzing out. I kind of had a heart drop moment there. I was like, oh my god, is he having a seizure? What's going on? But no, he's just being a cat. All right, we're good. All right, now he's licking his ass. Yep. Okay, there you go. He's like, oh, you're looking at me? Okay, watch me do this. Yeah. Watch me do this. All right, so in the end, Bitcoin will give longevity, as it may need other options if Splinterlands, the company, cannot go on. The DAO could exist and make other investments, and SPS holders theoretically has value. Again, I'm not opposed. I want the DAO to own Bitcoin. That's the only thing that, to me, is it's going up forever. So I want the DAO to be holding Bitcoin. How we do it, I'm a little bit indifferent to, but as I said earlier, I don't think it should be like, we shouldn't be trying to become a Bitcoin holding company. We shouldn't be the micro strategy of DAOs. Like, let's acquire some, let's find a way to acquire some and DCA over time and just continue to build up our stash. Actually, you know what? If you guys watch anything with Jack Mallers, another Bitcoin maxi, who's, young kid, known for his hot takes, known for his, he's just great, right? His understanding of things and Bitcoin are phenomenal. In fact, I would recommend, there's 2 talks that he gave earlier this year at conferences. One is like Bitcoin, like there's no second best. And then he actually talked about like what Bitcoin actually is. I don't know if you guys heard it, but for anybody who did, you'll understand the reference, where he talked about how Satoshi essentially like created like Bitcoin, and then he did something with time, right? So he made it like time gated. So now you can't just like bring in a bunch of resources and like mine more gold if the value of gold goes up. He like literally trapped and locked value in time. Again, it's a fascinating concept, but those 2 videos, I would recommend anybody in the crypto gaming ecospace or crypto space, gaming space, whatever it is, like you should watch that. It might make you a Bitcoin maxi, but that's a risk I'm willing to take because he just explains it so well. So the reason I bring him up is because I've listened to a couple of interviews with him recently where he talks about the fact that his company, Strike, which is kind of like a payments processor here in the US, is doing like they're built on the Lightning Network, and think of it as like Venmo, but instead of settling between banks, they just use the Bitcoin network, the Lightning Network, to settle. So it's like instant, it's amazing, and you can send money in different parts of the world and all that. I think, right? I just use it to buy Bitcoin because they have like a DCA option there that allows you to buy. So he's talked about the fact that they've started acquiring Bitcoin now on their corporate treasury. And, their assumption, what they've seen with Bitcoin on an annual basis, I forget the returns, right? And it's different for whatever kind of window of time that you're looking at. But let's say he's like, okay, Bitcoin annualized return over the last 4, 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is like 60%. So they're buying, holding, or acquiring and holding this Bitcoin. And every time they have to make a business decision, right? Every time they have to make a business decision or hire someone or acquire something or whatever the case is, right? Whether it's a new employee or spend money on something, they look at that and they say, can this bring more value, right? Is spending money? If we're going to sell some Bitcoin to do this thing, is that going to bring more than a 60% return over the next year? If it is, let's do it. If it's not, we'll just hold the Bitcoin. All right. So it's an interesting strategy in that way. And that's something that I think the DAO could adopt, right? Where it's like, obviously we want to build out a sprawling gaming ecosystem, and we can start to make those decisions if you have Bitcoin in the long run. But yeah, sorry, I know a little bit of a side rant there, but this has been a great conversation today already. I'm enjoying it. What are we, 40 minutes in? Okay. Oh, 11:15. All right, Bears playing about 45 minutes, so that's the timer on this. I have to see how my fantasy team is doing. I'm about to make a run. I'm about to make a comeback. Oh, hold on. I need to check my fantasy team now, because I don't know if anybody else has Nico Collins, but I'm expecting him back this week, and I'm hoping he can play. So last week I was dead last in my main fantasy league. Sorry for the folks that I'm in a fantasy league with for Splinter Bowl, but in the one with like all my college buddies, I was dead last, 12th place. I had significant injuries to a lot of players, and now I feel like I've shored up some things. I got some players coming back, and I want to make a run for the playoffs because I think my team is solid. So let's see, is Nico Collins playing? Oh, he is. All right, I need to get him off of injured reserve. What? Hold on. Oh, I need to do this now. I'm sorry, guys. How can I move him? Oh, okay. Move him to my bench. There we go. Now that he's off of my bench, I can put him in for Jordan Addison. Oh, it says he's questionable. Oh, and I gotta drop somebody? Oh man, I hate doing this all right now, but how do I drop someone? This is embarrassing. Okay, let's drop him. How's everybody else's fantasy team doing? Oh, the reason I bring it up is because since I was in last place, everybody was coming to me because they're like, "Oh, are you gonna sell? Like, are you gonna sell?" Like, everybody's coming to me and trying to raid my team for all the assets that it's a fantasy league, or sorry, dynasty league, right? So like I could get more cap space in the future or picks and things like that. And I was like, no, man, I'm coming for all you fools. I was like, my team's healthy now. I'm going to go from the 12th spot, last place. I'm going to meet you all in the playoffs, and it's going to be a good one. All right. So at least I think I started him. I'm not slated to win, but last week we did win. So that's good. All right. I'll just have to make sure I remember to sign off a little early here so that I can go and double check everything. Good stuff though. Okay. Let's jump back into the chat here. Okay, so State of Survival says, when will Rebellion cards hit the market? What? Dude, they're already there. They've been there for almost a year. I don't know what you're talking about. State of Survival says, I would rather have them remove inheritance tax. That's the worst. Imagine saving and paying tax your whole life, saving your money and leave it to your kids, and they gotta pay tax. Yeah, you know what? I'm in line with that. I don't know what the inheritance tax laws are, but I would be in line with that. That's kind of dumb. I mean, I guess like it makes it easier to build generational wealth, but isn't that something you would want to do? I don't know. What are the arguments against inheritance tax? Now I'm curious. We're having really deep discussions here. What are the arguments against? What are the arguments for an inheritance tax besides like the government wants, more money? I would think if people are being fiscally responsible and they're saving for their future and saving for their children, like that shouldn't be something that we're penalizing. Gathering says, I don't think there will be a big glut of Rebellion cards on the market. Most people still need to work on their decks, especially summoners. Yeah, there's not that many out there, guys. Might be time for market buyout number 2 today. After I do my land a market update. Let's go. All right, Sage says, I know, but I'm not seeing anything. Like the market is not good. Actually, State of Survival. It's so funny you mentioned this Because if that is your reference for the market is not being good because there's not many Rebellion cards and they're actually kind of expensive, that must mean that the market for Chaos Legion cards is amazing. It's so good because it's so cheap. Now, again, I'm not trying to take a shot at you here or what you're saying, but it's just interesting to see the psychology. We want cheap cards. We just don't want our cards to be cheap. There's a weird paradox there. It's like, if I bought the cards already, they need to go up in value, but only after I buy them. And I'm not going to buy them until they go down in value. Then I will buy them, and then I want them to only go up in value. All right, Sage Brown says, you end up competing against yourself for innovation. The world is not part of that innovation, anything due to tariffs, so innovation doesn't move as quickly because there's less innovative pressure. Okay. From foreign products. You did. So, okay, I can see a certain part of that argument where you're giving preference to manufacturing and your own companies in your own economy, in your own country. What you're reducing then is competition and innovation that comes in from the outside. But then we're also assuming that nobody in the current system, and maybe this is where the patent thing comes in, right? Nobody in the current system can provide alternative competition and create innovation that way either. If innovation can only come from exploiting a cheaper labor force, I don't know. Is that what we want? Thanks, After Sound. Yes, got number 2, Shib and Feek. I don't know what that means. Oh, Shib and Doge making big moves today. Might have to get another. Wait, are you big into Shib? Brandon, I did not take you for a meme coiner, but hey, you know what? Everybody's got to get that doggy coin. Hold up, let me see here. Come on. 26 cents for Doge. Should have bought it, man. I should have bought it when it was, let's see. Let me go back 5 years. 2022, when this thing was at 6 cents, 5 cents. I mean, it has to get to $1, right? I know the inflation is super high. What's the supply now? But at some point, the inflation will become irrelevant. There's 146 billion Doge, and if I remember correctly, the inflation is what? Is it 5 billion per year? Which is wild. Hold on, Dogecoin inflation rate. Wait, come on. All right, I have to spell it out for you, Brave browser. How much Doge are mined per year? Okay, so approximately 5.3 billion are mined every year. 5.2 to 5.3 billion. So this is what I'm saying, right? Like right now, inflation's high because there's only 146 billion. So what is it? 5 over 146, we'll say. So that's like a 3.4% inflation rate, like this year. But at some point, right, there's going to be so much Doge out there that the amount that's inflated is actually irrelevant, right? Imagine like once there's, 500 billion Doge out there. But then what's the value of that Doge? You can't really burn it. You can't really do anything with it. I guess maybe everybody in the world will want it, and more babies will be born faster than Doge can be mined. I don't know. All right. Gavin says, Out of Sound, have you or are you planning on maxing out your summons for Rebellion? Will you do it now or wait? Which ones will you target? I'm waiting, so I haven't made any moves yet. I think the easy ones to target would be, let's see. Oh, just a little update. I bought the Wild Season permit. I think I had a tantrum on the last stream, and I set the bot to like leave me 0 energy, and I'm feeling fantastic. I'm not playing the game, and it's awesome. I don't miss it. Just to give you guys an update. Let's see here. So core, let's look at summoners. So I would say, I mean, I think the ones of real value are probably going to be these ones right here, the legendary ones. Maybe there could be some that I'd want for the rares where you get some of these tactics. But I don't know. Like outside of like Avina, they're not really that appealing. If anything, and I think these are actually even more expensive, it might be better to go with the 3-mana ones because then you can play these in the future modern format anytime there's a Little League. Or you can get whatever the new one is. Carne Asada. Patents on medication are straight up evil, says Bananas. Well, see, there's an example of something that like should be for the good of the people, but is not. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for Valnor to drop in price. Trying to get all summoners. Who's Valnor? I'm sorry. Like, are you talking about Valnamor, who is not a Rebellion summoner? What? Okay. You can come back to that. So wow, Doja 26 cents was around 10 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Yvonne is correct. I'm not buying any cards yet. I'm really, so again, I've been talking about it for a while, but I've also said like I'm very skittish on everything. I'm not spending money just to spend money, right? I mean, if Bitcoin starts to do a little bit better, if the rest of the market starts to look a bit better, if SPS gets over a penny, then, you know, maybe December we'll do a little Christmas shopping. Burning Elk says our patent system is actually pretty good. IP protection can also encourage innovation because people know their inventions will not be ripped off immediately. Okay, great counterpoint. If patents were permanent, it would destroy the free market, but they only last 10 years, if I recall correctly. You could argue that's too long. Actually, it looks like 20 years, depends on the kind of patent. That is definitely too long. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, again, so that becomes an argument on like tactics rather than like our patent's good versus our patent's bad. So it should cost 1 alpha card to renew a patent. How do you guys feel about XRP? Never liked it. It always felt like they were in bed with big banks, but that was back in 2017. I haven't really paid attention to it since. Love XRP, says Gathering the Magic. It may be the basis of a new international trading system. Ghoulish's SPS totally underperforming as per usual, though. Really? I mean, it's up 5.7% today. Oh, well, I mean, if you compare it to like Cardano, Gala, Matic, BNB. Actually, BNB is only 4%. I guess you have a point. XLM. I used to own some XLM as well. Not anymore. Vilson's back. Lady Medusa's in the house. What's going on? Lady Medusa says, I haven't checked my land in months. Oh, you should probably give it a look-see and harvest some things. It's just getting wasted otherwise. So my fantasy league was a bit different, says State of Survival. Instead of injuries, I was stuck with a bunch of players with slow starts, lost the first 2 games, now you're winning. Nice. Who do you have on your team? Lady Medusa says, I had $30 of Doge in 2022 and I sold it. $30 of Doge in 2022 isn't that much. I don't feel like you missed out too much. Elon will be part of the Department of Government Efficiency Doge. Yeah. Remember what happened when he got onto SNL and he pumped the whatever out of it. And I mean, now he's going to be working in the government. I was referring to all. Oh, you're referring to all summoners in general. Okay. Well, Valinmor's cool. But yeah, no, I'm set on all of my Chaos Legion summoners. For a little while, I thought about getting into some of the Untamed summoners, but I didn't. I think if anything, I might grab a couple of the Rebellion ones, just because I want to play more tactics. And I think that they're generally cheaper for the most part. Brandon says, funny all you meme coin against Doge and SHIB and Splinterlands SPS stream. I loaded up on Doge SHIB cards 72 hours before election. My version of Polymarket bet on Trump. Nice. I mean, look, even if Trump had lost, if you were betting on the market picking up at some point, I mean, I'm not against meme coins. I just like, to me, it's gambling, and I don't gamble, right? So, like, if you, it's the same thing as like whenever I go to the casino with my friends, they're gambling. I hope they win, and I'm glad you're winning, Brandon. It's just something I'm not going to participate in, and not because like I'm better than you. I just don't do it. It's just too much risk for me. Can't handle it. Wilson says I wouldn't like XRP. I wouldn't get XRP. Yeah. Whoa, Lady Medusa swears by XRP. All right, sell us, Lady Medusa. And who else is really big into it? Gather the Magic. Anything deep in will perform as well. I got some UPT yesterday, swapped some airdrops into it. Nice. Being in bed with the banks is not necessarily a bad thing. No, I know. Well, I guess it all depends on what your thought process is here. Okay, let's see. Hold up, I want to check something real quick. Stream health looks good. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's see. So based for not gambling. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just didn't grow up doing it. So I feel like trading crypto is enough gambling for me. Brandon says, is there any truth to these rumors of Ada's Hoskinson's, I think you mean, being considered for crypto role in Trump's administration? You know, I saw some stuff floating around on X, but, you know, like as much as I'm all for free speech and I do get most of my news from X, but there's just so much garbage floating around there too. So you have to learn to like sift through that. I have seen reports, again, unverified, and I can't find like the direct sources of him being considered for an advisory role in Trump's administration. But I don't know if that's just all of the Cardano holders starting a rumor. I haven't seen him say anything about it specifically. So at this point, I'm going to assume it's only a rumor that people are hoping makes them feel better. He's a smart guy, but like he's a smart guy, and I enjoy listening to him because I think he has some very interesting perspectives. And I even held some Cardano back in 2017, 2018, which would have been nice. I was grabbing those babies at 3 cents a pop. But I don't know. There's certain like stances he's taken against Bitcoin, which he's like been wrong on, like very wrong. And it's like, okay, I mean, I know you're trying to build your own thing here, but, and it's not just him, but there's so many like brilliant minds where it's like, man, if you just stayed and focused on Bitcoin, like we actually could have been like further ahead, like so much further ahead, rather than trying to build out your own ecosystem with your own token and try to give it value and try to give it whatever. But I say the same thing about every project out there, right? Maybe they should consider me. I will make it SPS legal tender. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like even, and here's the thing, we're probably too early for it, but like, I can't wait until there's like a Splinterlands type game that's built using Lightning. And all of a sudden, like we're playing for sats instead of SPS. And you know, you create volume by selling things in Bitcoin, right? Selling things, buying things in Bitcoin, Transaction fees are essentially nothing because it's all happening on layer 2s and layer 3s. Again, we're probably like a decade away from that, but you know, this is why I'm a Bitcoin maxi. It's like it's going to take some time, but all this innovation that's happening on other chains will eventually make its way back to Bitcoin on second and third layers. So Vlogging says Trump might have sold all the places in his admin some time ago. I did hear he was putting his team together. He like privately funded his team and was putting it together beforehand. I did see that yesterday he announced he would not be bringing on Mike Pompeo and Nikki Haley. And so without getting too political, to me, that was a win. So he doesn't want them in the administration. But aside from that, he's put out like a bunch of policy videos and things. I watched a couple of them. So in terms of like administration and spots in the admin, I don't know anything else. I see a lot of people floating, you know, ideas and rumors and even making them look kind of official, and even like even people accepting the appointments, like unofficially accepting the appointments. I've seen a lot of that. I think the most hilarious one is Alex Jones for press secretary. And I think he even responded to it too, which is like, oh gosh, that would, I mean, the corporate media would have an absolute field day with that. They would lose their minds. They would lose their minds. DJ says Bitcoin is the one true king. Indeed, it is. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. All right, Brandon says, what cities are adding Bitcoin as acceptable forms of payment for tax and such? Yeah, so I heard Detroit as well, and they're the largest so far that is adding it for payments or for payment of taxes. I have no problem converting my SHIB Doge to BTC before sending. What's that called? I haven't heard anything else. All I heard was Detroit. Now, there is somebody else that I follow. You know, I don't even follow them, I think. They just pop up on my feed a lot. I think Dennis Porter. He's like really involved in the like the political side of things. Let's see, Dennis Porter. Let's see if this is the one. He's been saying some things. Oh, 23 minutes. So he's one of those guys who like okay. How do I put it this way? He's always working on something. He's definitely an asset for the ecosystem, but he does stuff like this, which again, I mean, you might not like it, you might like it, but like 23 minutes ago, he says, I can confirm that huge news is coming for this week for Bitcoin, 100% guaranteed. You'll want to turn on the bell notifications for this one. All right, that was 23 minutes ago on X. Now, granted, he's broken some crazy news in the past. I think there was the thing with Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago. And he might have oversold that one a little bit, but like Pennsylvania, they came through with like a bipartisan agreement to like put in, you know, Bitcoin protections for state residents, which is like, that's great. I would love for every state to do that. Make sure state governments and federal governments cannot, you know, take away your right to self-custody and store Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin. Hold on. He said, so he's been talking about where is it? There's a human feeling in Washington D.C. and across states that's not possible. Okay, he's been talking about state-specific strategic reserves of Bitcoin, and I forgot which states it was. But that's obviously something to be excited about. If it's not just the federal government, but state governments trying to stack Bitcoin. I like the idea of Roseanne for press secretary. This bull will be so big, even NFTs are coming back. Nah, dude, those things are dead. Now, for anybody who's bought NFTs, I hope you're able to make your money back. But they're just monkey JPEGs, man. All right, do you think election of Trump will cut bull market short due to general financial downfall following his tariffs, or crypto benefit from the general economic downfall to come? Okay, so I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't like the framing of this question, because the assumption is that that there's going to be an economic downfall regardless. Now, if you're talking about like just a regular market cycle, then okay, I guess I'm understanding it that way. But I don't know. My immediate thing was like, why are we assuming that everything's just going to get bad? So, okay, fine. Let's assume you're talking about this in like the 4-year kind of crypto cycles. What's going to cut that short? What's going to be the thing? Will it be the tariffs, or will it be crypto just doing its general thing and hitting like an all-time high phase and then going into crypto winter? I don't know. But also, like, one, I'm not smart enough, and two, even with my limited thing, like I don't know that I can sit here and say like tariffs are going to be the downfall. I see a lot of positives. I know we've been kind of debating that back and forth. If there's an economic downfall, I don't know that you can even just blame it on tariffs. We'll have to see how this stuff plays out. It's going to be a lot of moving parts. But I do agree with you that there will be an economic downfall at some point. I mean, sorry, not downfall, but there will be a market cycle at some point. Right now, liquidity is starting to expand. Empty money supply is expanding. It's about to coincide with another Trump presidency. And, obviously it's going to make him look really good. But the party will end at some point, right? And if you go back to like 2016, 2017, 2018 during his first term, I remember like second half of 2018 was kind of rough. Like the market was down significantly. So I know that they were like raising interest rates again. Well, here, you know what? I'm going to answer your question this way. This is from a lot of the macro analysts that I respect and follow. I mean, this is going to be the decade of inflation. So there's been a lot of behind the scenes money printing that has happened over the past year, considering, the bailing out of the banks with the BTFP program, just all the other stuff, right? The bond market is kind of like in a very bad spot. So the thought is we are going to see, similar to 2021, crazy rates of inflation. Sorry, let me not be hyperbolic. You're going to start to see inflation start to pick up again next year, right? Because the cost of goods are going to start going up, money supply is expanding, money was printed, right? So you're going to see inflation start to pick up. Right now, we entered into a cutting cycle starting in September, right? And we just cut again in November. I think the expectation is that we're going to continue cutting or holding steady for at least like the first half of 2025. But if we get inflation numbers that, jump back up to 3, 4, 5, 6%, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the financial system, or on, I guess, the Fed. If the Fed's still there, we'll see. Somebody asked Powell, he's like, can Trump fire you? He's like, no. But that'll put a lot of pressure on them to raise interest rates again, which could tighten or squeeze the markets, and essentially cut off whatever the bull market. Will it be short? Will it be cut short? I don't know. Like, here's the thing. There's a very good chance, like, Bitcoin tops out between 12 to 18 months after the halving. 12 months is April. 12 months is April. There's a good chance that the bull run could be done by April. And that would be in line with historical trends. So it's like in this next 5 months, you have an opportunity to like make massive wealth if you play your cards right. But if you think about this from a timing perspective, April of next year is what? That's like 100 days into his presidency, right? January, February, March, April. So it's barely like 100 days into his presidency. So how far will he be in terms of like implementing policies and things like that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if by April, May, you already start to see inflation picking up again, I think that the Fed is going to be much more attuned to it. They're going to be much more sensitive to it because they saw how bad it got in 2021, and they kind of just dismissed it for a lot longer than I think people believe that they should have. So we could get into a situation where it's this first 100 days, inflation starts picking up, all of a sudden it's like 3, 4, 5%. And by May, right, Bitcoin hits like $500,000 in April. And by May, they're like, hey, you know what? Like inflation's back at 5%. We don't want this thing to run back up to 9. Like we're going to flip the script and we need to cool off the economy. And then boom, that's it, right? That's it. Game over. That was your chance. You waited 4 years for this. So, yeah. Wilson says, by the way, I managed to sell 2 unlocked soulbounds the other day for profit. Nice. The right cards still sell for more because people want them. And that's how it should be. Wait, aren't cards considered NFTs? Sorta. Yeah. But they're not real NFTs, but yeah. Matthew Young says, I was thinking of unlocking my Goldfoil epics because a lot of people want those. Wilson says, actually, a few NFTs on Sol have been performing well. Dude, I think Solana is going to be a monster. And I say this as somebody who does not own a lot of Solana. I have a little bit that I bought, I don't know, a while back and started staking it. And again, just seeing the gaming trends with like Parallel, for example. And I think Tails had mentioned Metalcore, or is it one of the other games that Tails is playing? I think there's going to be a mass migration over to Solana, if there isn't already. Wilson, even in a bear, yeah, they are. I mean, PFPs. All right, so bull markets and crypto are over so fast that it'll collapse before Trump can do anything. He doesn't even start until next year. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I mean, literally the wind could be taken out of our sails by the middle of next year, and that would be in line with, previous crypto trends of, us topping out 12 to 18 months, as well as like Trump not even able to make an impact. Like if anything, what's crazy? This could be like a buy the rumor, sell the presidency inauguration event, right? Where it's just like before he actually even has a chance to do anything, everybody's buying Bitcoin now. Everybody's getting, into risk assets and whatever. And then when he finally assumes a position and is in a position to actually do something and maybe starts working on policies, the script flips, right? And it's just like, here we go. Inflation's hot. We're gonna have to like treat this appropriately. Yeah, definitely want an epic girlfriend. Are you talking about an NFT? Are there girlfriend NFTs? 80K on Binance? Let's freaking go. Oh, let's refresh here. It's not official until it's on Splinter Cards, guys. 80,000. It is official. We are now here. $80,010. Wow. Exciting times. Okay. Matt wants to unlock his epic girlfriend. Oh, that's what you mean by GF. Okay. All right. I have 2 corrupted healing in one. Okay. And then 2 an Olivia and Goldfoil. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Go for it, man. I mean, if it's there. My girlfriend is legendary. She's great. It's funny. I sold 2 Olivias the other day after unlocking them. Okay. You guys are all talking to each other. So, all right. So Brandon says the challenge with a macro, they are always correct. It's just a matter of when it happens. Macro is horrible at predicting the time frame. True. Like the trends are happening, but there's that whole saying like the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. There's a lot of truth to that. So we're at 11:48. I'm gonna have to go watch some pregame. All right, but there might be buyers, whales looking for it. Look at the market before you do. See if people wanting to buy it. Have you seen the FUD on GLG? No, what happened? GLG is toast. I never hang out there. I'm more of a colony guy. Wait, looks worrying to say the least. GLG was a mistake. Can somebody give me the TLDR? Or do I have to go to office hours? It'd be better to make a standalone game. A great NFT on Soul that is on the radar now is D Pioneers. Ah, I see what you did there. You have any SUI? I do not. I don't even know what that is. I've seen the ticker, but I don't know anything about the project. Logan says, I never planned to invest in Soul, but when Steppen collapsed, I was left with a bag of Soul, and now it has grown my third largest asset. You know what's so funny? I mean, that's not the case for me because I only bought like, I don't know, one Solana at that point. So it wasn't like a lot, but it's funny because I still have it sitting in a wallet somewhere. I did buy more Solana recently, which obviously was at a higher price, but I'm in the same boat as you where like I bought Soul and then I just didn't sell it after Steppen collapsed. Vildan says, dude, I don't see some of the comments you are reading here. I don't know. I mean, all these comments are coming from YouTube. The only comments that you wouldn't see would be if they're coming from Twitch, but I think we only had one viewer on Twitch. Yeah, Lady Medusa. She hasn't said anything for a minute. Are you still there? That's okay. You don't have to comment. I'm just trying to get more Twitch engagement. It's a new layer 1 my buddy got me into in a bit. Okay. Have you all blocked me or something? I don't. Maybe they blocked you. I don't know. Time to watch some football. Have a good day, guys. Let's go BTC. Yeah, you know what? We can start to wrap up here. Any other questions? Any other things you guys got going on? I mean, hey, look, for the first time I was actually on stream when we hit the number that I threw into the title. 80,000. SPS is now at 0.0094. We are within striking distance of a penny. ETH is at 3,200. Solana is up to 212. Oh, actually, that makes me feel pretty good. Dude, the holidays are going to be crazy. Just crazy. Because if stuff is happening now, imagine when everybody goes home and all of like the younger, like Gen Z millennials go to dinner with their parents and they're like, hey, now you can buy Bitcoin, dad or grandpa, whatever it is. Right? Now you can buy this and feel like it's safe because, you know, the government's moving in that direction. But yeah, go Lions. Go Lions unless we're not playing them. Or if we're not playing them, go Bears. All right, so Villain says SPS to a penny today, calling it. Oh boy. Go grab that sub penny SPS. Tail says Doge at 27 cents. Oh my God, amazing. Oh my goodness, amazing. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go watch the Bears. Hopefully they'll do a little bit better than they did last week because that was really disappointing. But I hope everybody is doing well. I will catch you all here tomorrow with another stream. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, that's all we got. Catch y'all later. Peace.